Guys, he absolutely killed it out there. The crowd love you. How does it feel to have played such a great set at Rockathon?
Lost for words.
Yeah, it's great to share that moment with the audience, really. We get that feedback and we give that performance and feedback, and it's exhilarating, I suppose, just as much for them as it is for us and them. Something like that, but we have a great time. We tend to have a great time with the audience. We always include the audience. It's all about the audience, really.
Yeah.
No, it's all about the music with the audience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a gig like Rockathon, I suppose, is probably one of the larger gigs that you guys would play, is it?
We've played Europe, Scotland, UK, and Ireland, and this is the biggest one we've done in Ireland, and we've done similar in those other territories.
Yeah. And you guys are as close to the real Thin Lizzy as it gets.
Well, that is
It's very hard.
That was a phrase coined by Philomena Lynott.
Yes.
And she's phrased the phrase, "Oh, you guys are the closest to playing my son's music." So we asked if you could use that as a slogan, if you like, and we've kept it ever since. But saying that, she appreciated all the Lizzy bands that were there for her son's music. But we just happened to fall in. At the time, there was only a handful. This band has been established since 1994. So there was only 2 bands out there, and we were one of them. So at the time, we were the closest. And it takes a good while to really pull it together to be what we're doing right now.
Yeah. She liked the fact that we dressed up as well. To look the part as well.
Yeah.
Which I think, that's a good tribute band.
Yeah, because she didn't like. I used to wear a wig, and she said, "Oh, don't wear a wig, H. You're a comedy Phil if you wear a wig." So she said, so I had to get my own hair and get it all. So I used to do it in a little ponytail thing, just like that. So now it's. She was right. Yeah, so I do it for Phil. Yeah.
And how do you work on your stage show? To make it as close to the real thing as possible.
The show or the music?
The music.
Well, we're all fans of the music, devout fans, and
he was watching him in 1980, and I was around as well when Thin Lizzy were out. I never got to see Phil lineup though. Sadly, I never got to see it. But we're all genuine fans.
Yeah.
My dad was a huge fan, so I grew up with Live and Dangerous on, around the house all the time. He was a big Brian Downey fan. He was a drummer as well. So, from a real young age, it was just always on, So it's in your subconscious, and then you start learning this stuff, really putting the hours into honing the details, to really get it as close as possible. I think we're all very much the same. So.
This is George, by the way, the drummer. It's Tim over there, guitarist. Scott. There's Downey, George, as I just said. JJ is was it?
Bit of everything. I'm mainly a Gary Moore guy. I've never been into Gary Moore, but Tim generally does the Scott Gorham, and I have to do bits of John Sykes and Brian and Roberts. And
I'm mainly Phil.
Never would have guessed.
And I actually met Phil.
Right.
Met Phil with the Renegade tour.
Yeah.
And I saw them when I was at school, like I said, and I couldn't believe you could see real rock stars. I was like, absolutely. So there was this wow. Anyway, so I met Phil, and what I remember most about meeting Phil was we chatted most of the before they went on to do the show. This is prior to the show, and then he came out of nowhere because we thought he'd gone. Then he turned up from behind and looked round, and he looked like he was up there, and he goes, "Have you got tickets?" And from Birmingham, we've never heard the phrase used. You just say, "Have you got any? Have you got tickets?" When he says, "Have you got tickets?" and we're going, "Huh?" and he goes, "You've got tickets?" And we go, "No." He says, "Well, you wait here, and I'll sort you out." And he got us backstage, and he was an absolute gentleman, and the whole band were great. And the Thin Lizzy's been with me ever since. And any decent musician, before I started doing this, any decent musician is a fan of Thin Lizzy.
That's true. That's true. I speak with lots of musicians from around the world, and every one of them mentioned Thin Lizzy and Gary Moore as well.
Yeah.
It definitely made an impact. But it's called Concerts That Made Us, so I have to ask you guys, as a concert goer, what concerts have made you guys?
Concerts have made.
What
I'm
would
not sure
be
that
some of the best concerts you've seen?
the concert that we've seen.
Obviously,
I
Thin
saw-
Lizzy would be up
I
there.
saw
for you.
the Queen. I think it was Freddie Mercury's last ever gig.
Oh man.
August the 9th, 1985. Nebworth, 120,000 people. I think that was his last ever proper gig. And I've seen Bowie and people that the surprise you, people like Madonna, and, you know, not just rock stuff. But so I got him all 17 times. So he was a massive influence.
And you guys?
Well, I'm a big Rush fan, and so I've seen those guys a few times before they retired. So that was probably visually and musically, you know, a big deal for me. Obviously, Thin Lizzy never got to see. I've seen Scott Gorham live, and they were great Black Soul Riders. Iron Maiden as well. They're a great live band.
Yeah, I've seen them myself. They're unreal.
All the classic bands that are still going, you know, try and get to see as many as possible when they still can, you know.
Exactly. That's it. That's it. Our heroes are starting to get to the age where they're either dying or stuff.
Absolutely.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, Tina Turner. Just lost her.
this week.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
She was a phenomenal artist.
Yeah.
Legendary. And yourself?
Probably the Darkness.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm a big dance.
Yeah.
They're big Lizzy fans as well, aren't they?
Yeah, you can kind of clearly see the inspiration with them. Yeah. And before we dive into the last couple of questions then, any future plans you want to tell us about? Any big upcoming gigs you want to share?
We've got a show, the Button Factory in August.
August 19th.
19th of August. Bashford Button Factory in Dublin will be playing. So.
I don't know if we're doing the bloody stream, are we? Is
Yeah,
that up in the air?
We'll be there.
We might be.
But we'll probably be there.
We might be bloody there.
Bloody hanging out.
Yeah. Bloody getting pissed.
Get Chinese from across the road.
Yeah.
And we'll dive into the last couple. So, if you could see any musician from history, living or dead, in concert for one night only, who would it be?
For me, it'd be Philo, of course, because obviously I never got to see that the first time round, you know.
Yeah.
But,
He's only age got to see him. I didn't
Yeah.
see him either.
Yeah, I saw them twice.
That's just being greedy.
Well, yeah, the first time I was too stupid to really absorb what it was all about. The second time I was just going, well, I expected them to have his precision and Dan to have a slingling kit and the rest of it. And then by the time I saw them doing the Renegade, I was like thrown by, he had an Ibanez bass, down he had a timer kit, then there's a keyboard player, and then there was Snowy White, and the whole thing was just
Totally different.
different to what I expected, yeah. But Phil was still doing all that, yeah. And he was a man, yeah.
Yeah, but because they never stayed the same, they always developed, and the variety of music from like folky stuff to heavy metal. Thin Lizzy did everything.
Yeah, they were never complacent with it. You know, they tried new things every album. You know, so
They developed
kept
with
it interesting.
Yeah.
I always kind of feel sad though when it comes to Thin Lizzy that it's almost like they missed the boat in America. Every time
That's
they
true.
tried, something went
It
wrong.
is.
You were a
They were
bit
the-
unlucky.
They were a super band that people they didn't quite get that status they should have got. They were a super band.
People leaving halfway through tours.
Yeah.
Don't know, is it?
Rock and roll's a funny old game.
Robbo getting his hands
Gary
slashed
Neal
up, wasn't it?
and Robbo slashing his hands up or something. Like
Guitar trouble.
Yeah.
that. They had a couple of hits. I think Boys Are Back and Jailbreak were hits in America.
Yeah.
A melody of our
Again, they were American bands that were fans, you know.
Yeah.
People like Slash and Bon Jovi.
in
talk about it.
afterwards. Everybody's going Thin Lizzy, but
Yeah.
you know
When they were actually
yeah. So worldwide they're well acclaimed.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a shame that Phil was here now. They'd be reformed. They'd be kicking ass, and you'd see it. Well, they should have done Live Aid, and you would have seen a proper kick-ass band. Phil was having problems. When the band had disbanded, he went on a spiral, and then he needed that support, and there was nobody there really. Live Aid, he should have been there, and then he felt let down, I suppose, a bit as well with the not much.
Well, his
contact.
best mates, Midge Ure and Bob Geldof, they were running the show, and
Yeah.
they didn't pick Thin Lizzy. They could have had Gary and Brian and Scott and
Yeah, exactly.
Brian
And that-
Downey and done a stonking.
That would have really inspired Phil to pull it together,
To get back
because
to it.
that's what he was about.
Yeah.
The fight,
Yeah,
get in there, give it some kick, some ass,
Yeah.
and that he just deflated. But you know, when I speak to Eric Bell, and he explains that they'd have a case of brown ale and 2 Jack Daniels, and that would be finished before the sound check. And so with that Irish kind of like, you know, that he was. So they drank a lot, and there's always a price. There's always a price. I feel like that kind of persona of like can hold his own.
Yeah.
But don't forget, everybody's buying him a drink. Everybody, and he's not saying no.
Yeah.
You know.
When ours rock and roll's there, because we can't chuck tellies out a window because our hotel doesn't have television. So what do you do?
And the windows are only like that wide.
Funny, I was going to ask, how rock and roll do you get? How seriously do you take it?
We can't discuss that one.
That'd be rock and roll.
A cup of Horlicks and bed boy.
That's some really late nights, yeah. Last weekend we were tiring. We had 2 nights on trot and getting to bed at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, it's hard work. You know, we don't always have roadies. We might have
We don't have
crew.
roadies.
Yeah. Like occasionally we'll have a show where there's humpers provided, but most of the time we turn up, we do it all ourselves.
There's a lot behind the scenes, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of travelling, a lot of time on the road, a lot of time looking at the
reality.
The transit van, you know, on the motorway.
Yeah, it's not all glitz and glamour.
Yeah.
So there's
no glamour
So there's no energy there to get the telly out the window by then and do anything else.
It's a 4-man effort.
Yes, we'll do it tomorrow.
But them flat screens are better, aren't they?
Yeah,
a lot lighter.
Yeah.
Straight out, there you go.
Then you can headbutt those.
No, but when we do get a chance, obviously we let loose when we can. But
But we don't talk.
we don't talk about it.
Brilliant. Listen, guys, thanks a million. It's been an absolute
Yes,
pleasure.
mate. Thanks.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Nice one, mate.
Cheers.
Nice one.
Thanks.